Nothing to worry about. It's just an innocent scarecrow, keeping the birdies away. Ha! Hello, I see you. Hello everybody, Andy Monks here, miniature and gaming artist. Good to see you again. Today, I'm going to be sculpting a miniature that's a monster from Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, so I'm going to be sculpting a miniature today from Dungeons and Dragons, the Monsters Manual. One of my favourite monsters of all. Also happens to be a villain out of Batman, the Scarecrow. So I've been running a campaign. I've been dungeon mastering a campaign recently, Curse of Strahd actually, which has got a ton of scarecrows in it. And, you know, they've got the ability to frighten you and incapacitate you a little bit out of doing that. And I just think they're cool creatures, so I wanted to make a miniature. I couldn't find any at the time. They're probably out there. I didn't look very far. I just needed an excuse to make one. So I made one. And I'm about to do an order for 3D printing, so I'm going to put it in for the next one. Alright, so as we go and see the time lapse of me sculpting the Scarecrow, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it from the Monsters Manual. For those of you who haven't heard, give a bit of a rundown on the Scarecrow. Anyway, if you're looking for him up, he's in the Monster Manual, or it, him, she, I don't know, do they have a sex? Are they like... I don't know what they are. They're animated scarecrows is what they are. So, they can be anything they like. Monsters Manual, page 268. We have the Scarecrow. So, let's go to work. Don't be too scared. It's only a scarecrow. It's not going to come to life. Or is it? I'm using, as always, for my 3D sculpting, the amazing ZBrush from Pixologic. I'm using 2018, which has been released. It is wonderful, a wonderful, wonderful program. I love it so much. I've been doing 3D since the late 90s. And when I discovered ZBrush, based on my traditional background, it was like I could draw and sculpt traditionally as well as combine it with the flexibility, and then now the ability to 3D print these things into miniatures is just phenomenal. So I love it, love it, love it. That's what I'm working with. I may do some more tutorial videos of ZBrush in the future, but in the meantime, let's dive into the monster. So this is from the Monsters Manual, Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. A little bit about the Scarecrow. At harvest time, when death revisits the twilight world, and summer's blossoms bow their withered heads, eerie scarecrows loom in silent vigil over empty fields. With immortal patience, these stoic sentinels hold their posts through wind, storm, and flood, bound to their master's command, eager to terrify prey with their sackcloth visage, and rend victims with its razor-sharp claws. They are spirit-powered constructs. So a scarecrow is animated by the bound spirit of a slain evil creature, granting it purpose and mobility. It is this uncanny presence from beyond death that allows the scarecrow to inspire fear in those it gazes upon. Hags and witches often bind scarecrows with the spirits of demons, but any evil spirit will do. Although aspects of the spirit's personality might surface, a scarecrow's spirit doesn't recall the memories it had as a creature, and its will is focused solely on serving its creator. If its creator dies, the spirit inhabiting the scarecrow either continues to follow its last commands, or seeks revenge for its creator's death, or destroys itself. And because a scarecrow is a construct, it doesn't require air, food, drink, or sleep. So a little bit more about the Scarecrow, this is from the stats block. Scarecrow, it's a medium construct. It's humanoid size. It's chaotic evil. It's a challenge rating 1, so it's good in earlier stages. If you multiply them by more than 1, they get, you can easily control a challenge up and down for varying size parties. The Scarecrow, it's got pretty medium statistics across the board. Nothing really noticeable. It has a slightly stronger charisma more than anything else, and that's because of its terrifying glare. So the terrifying glare is one of the actions it can do, and this will target one creature it can see within 30 feet. And if a target can see the Scarecrow, the target must succeed on a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw, or it's going to be magically frightened until the end of the Scarecrow's next turn, and the frightened target is paralyzed. The Scarecrow is vulnerable to fire, so obviously because of it's made from cloth and straw and things like that, they are handy to have either flaming arrows or firebolt or anything like that shot at it. Has damage resistance to bludgeoning, piercing and slashing from non-magical weapons, and completely immune to poison. Condition immunities are charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, poison, and unconscious. And it understands the languages of its creator, but it can't speak, right? So it also has false appearance. So whilst the Scarecrow remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from ordinary inanimate Scarecrows. I like to mix them in with normal Scarecrows and frighten the bejesus out of my players. It can do multi-attack, so it has a claw attack as its main attack. And it does slashing damage, and it can do 2 claw attacks per round. And they do, they're a +3 to hit, and 2d4 +1 slashing damage. And anytime you're hit, you got to do a saving throw because you can see the Scarecrow. So they are wonderfully fun, dark, twisted creatures that seem to touch into many people's nightmares. And there's something primal about them for us, that thing I think from being children and ever seeing them in the forest. It's like this thing, and you're expecting it to move, and it never did for me when I was a child. Not that I noticed, but in D&D we can make them move. So I'll leave you as we finish off the sculpting of the Scarecrow for a little bit longer. And as you can see, I'm starting to pose the Scarecrow, I should say now. And I've made him a bit chunkier. I'll talk about it at the end, but he's a little bit thicker than he is in the original artwork, mostly because of the 3D printing process, and also once he's reduced in size, we need that bulk on him to have him really have a presence, otherwise they get a little bit spindly. On with the sculpting. Alright, that was fun. I had fun anyway. As you can see, I made him quite chunky compared to some of the other miniatures I've done, and the original artwork. And the reason is I've been doing some testing, and due to that I can't yet print them myself, and also the nature of them being really small, I've got to make sure the bits don't break, and they're going to be really okay when we go to play them. So you got a chunkier Scarecrow, but it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when it comes back. Anyway, it's been great. I love making monsters for D&D. I'm going to make some more monsters. That's what I said, monsters, not monsters. Monsters! Anyway, I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe my video. Also, I have my Patreon website. So if you don't know what that is, that's where you can come and subscribe to me and you pay whatever money you'd like to pay and you get goodies. You get art prints, you get access to my 3D miniature files and the archive. You also get extra videos showing my work process and then lots of other goodies. So if you go to patreon.com/trickmonkey, I'll put it in the link below. Please come and subscribe. You're also supporting me to make more content. So the more you subscribe, the more content I will make. All right. Don't get lost in the field with